Good morning, good morning. My apologies for being a few minutes late here. Falling a little behind today. Hope you're all doing well. All right, not going to keep any of these on watch. They basically all rolled over. This is not able to... There we go. Okay, so FATN, looks like we have some movement on it. Good morning, Sven. There's Skivon. I need to wake up. Oh, man. Yeah, I just woke up like maybe 15 minutes ago. Good morning, sir. I don't recognize your name. Good morning, good morning. SOAR, or LIMN. Okay. These are both penny stocks. I'm not super interested in these. Need some tea? I need something, right? Like, I mean, I've never had coffee, so I don't have that coffee buzz to give myself. Yeah, just feeling a bit slow today. Hopefully I can shake it off here. But, I mean, on the bright side, it doesn't look like we have anything that's really jumping out at me right away. FATN is the only thing that's really on watch. All right, what about this one, PDYN? No, okay, this one is moving. PDYN. Good morning, Boohoo Dave. So this does have news. Secures contract to deliver key. Okay. I mean, that seems like a strong catalyst. Yeah. And it's got AI in the name. Higher float, so that's a bit concerning. All right, 44 million. It's a little high. This is probably the one on watch. CYN. CYN as well. CYN is also moving. Yeah, this one also has something to it. Looks like they have news as well. All right, so CYN and PDYN, both of these seem to be moving. Interesting, they both have YN in their name, and they're both talking about AI here. Could just be coincidence. Yeah, CYN has less shares. Daily chart looks pretty terrible, though. PDYN, daily chart looks pretty flat. Much more stable. Interesting. If you guys are coming in, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, help me get this out to more people, I would appreciate it. No pressure, though. Okay, so this is pulling back. Looking at the last, we'll say 20 days, we did have one spike up here that basically fully rode over right away. So, not really great to see that. Makes me feel this could do the same thing again here. Yeah, this news isn't anything too crazy to me. Good morning, Sergiet. Good morning, good morning. I see you, some of you guys did leave a like. I do really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can have some good trades today. PDYN is pulling back. Here's the thing. I would be more inclined to jump on this because this is strong news. But I don't know. So we had a breakout here, consolidation, and now we're getting a little bit of a premium again. This one doesn't really do it justice. Even the 20-day doesn't really do it justice. 30 should do it. Yeah, so you're trading at a bit of a premium here. So if your argument is this news should make the price go up, you're already trading at a premium, which I don't really like. I don't like to trade front side on premium. So I'll probably pass on front side. Good morning, Bright Awakening. I love that name. It's such a nice name. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be waiting on these two. This one definitely has the better float for movement, but the catalyst isn't as strong. It's just a bunch of buzzwords, and statistically knowing that this stock has rolled over recently makes me a bit iffy to just jump on it. I mean, to be fair, it did make a very big move before the rejection, so this definitely has the potential to make a strong move, but the fact that it just rolled over immediately makes me worried that people will be afraid to jump on it a second time. So we had high volume for all of this. So starting right here is when the volume dried up. I mean, that looks bullish. I do like the volume on this, right? High volume on front side, low volume on back side. Like, see how this candle plays out. So we had a drop from 760 to 730. 30-cent drop. It's honestly not that big of a drop for this price range. Probably because the float's higher. Volume was quite high though. I'm like 50-50 on if this could bounce or not. This volume was higher, but it's in context of very, very low volume push down. So this isn't as bearish. This could be actually the reversal point, but it doesn't look super strong. I would give it like a B or a B minus. Not quite ideal. Maybe even a C plus, just again because you're trading at this premium. But the news is very strong. Yeah, I think I would settle on this being a B minus setup. That's below what I would like for criteria, so I don't think I'm going to touch it. Not here. CYN still seems to be pushing this high. Right, so this recovery bounce was very strong. All right, you had good volume on it. Curious how this one will play out. Read today already? I'm sorry to hear that, Andy. What did you trade? And is it a big loss or a small loss? Oh, gotta wake up. PDYN, 2 small losses. Okay. Yeah, I'm still iffy on it. Like, I like how this pullback was on low volume. I do. But the fact that we're at a premium and the float is higher, those are iffy. This news is very strong, though. This is very good news, right? Anytime you secure a contract, especially it has the AI buzzword in the title too, like this is a strong catalyst. This catalyst is pulling heavy weight for why I'm not just saying this is a bad trade. Because despite it being a higher float, despite it being you paying at a premium on the daily, you have a very strong catalyst and you have a little bit of a divergence in volume, right? So you've got a couple things going for this move, but I really don't like that I'm paying a premium. But I'm like 50-50 on this in reality. Okay, so CYN, we did make a new high. Let's see how it resolves here. One penny high and then full on rejection. I don't trust CYN because of the move it made a few days ago. Oof. It's only a 20-cent drop. It looks worse than it is. It still doesn't look pretty, though. I mean, if you're going to do a full-on rejection, depending on how that volume is, that volume isn't actually that high relative to the push-up. Yeah, this could have even been a buy point. This looks intimidating, but the volume really isn't that much higher than the push-up. You could have maybe bought here. Now, if it's going to push back down, I wouldn't be inclined to buy it. But that could have been an opportunity. I was getting ready. I like pulled up my level 2. I was getting ready. I was like, maybe. One more thing to point out. Says shares outstanding is 7.9 million. I'm looking at the level 2 here now. Level 2 is very, very stacked. This has probably been diluted. Even from the daily, you can see it's just a straight downtrend. Yeah, this stock has probably been diluted. AZI? No way. AZI and JZXN are moving again together. For those of you that may have forgotten, these two pumped at the same time like a week or two ago. I think it was a week ago. They both pumped at the same time, and they both rug pulled. They're both Chinese stocks. So... oops. See, I don't really have that much faith in either of these. I'll keep an eye on them because I'm curious if they're going to do the same thing or not. So this one actually had news. What about this one? Wait, they both had news? Okay, come on, dude. They both had news at the same exact time. And these two stocks pumped together last time too. Like what is this? Like this looks so obvious to me that they're doing shenanigans with this. Yeah, even if there's a good setup, I shouldn't touch either of these. These have had a history of being manipulated. I shouldn't trust them. Good morning, Tristan. Yeah, shenanigans. Well, am I wrong? I mean, you guys can tell me if you remember. These two stocks pumped together like a week or two ago. And they both rugged at the same time. And it just so happens, like, look at the news here. So 7:15, this one further deepens cooperation with Xinhe Solar. And this one, 7:15, same exact time, but it's a totally different catalyst. But what are the odds that the two stocks that rugged together, that were Chinese stocks, would happen to put out news at the same exact time? Like, this looks so suspicious to me. CYN had issued shares to their employees 5 days ago. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, the level 2 is extremely thickly traded. Yeah, even just on a single penny, I'm seeing like 20, 30,000 on the bid and ask. Like this is such a very stacked, very, very stacked level 2. I mean, we'll see. Like, it's showing strength, right? I thought this could have just been a pump and dump, but it's showing strength. But again, I don't trust this one. Okay, so JCXN died. Looks like it's dying anyway. AZI, I mean, AZI is still holding for the time being. FATN has come down from its breakout. Yeah, this has been pretty consistent selling. So, yeah, we had pretty big volume pushing this down. But like I said, I realized it just a little bit too late. But even though this looks incredibly bearish, this volume isn't that much higher than the push up. Really terrible follow through and lots of traps these last few days. Yeah, there has been a lot of traps. A lot of fake out flushes like this. FUSE did it yesterday a lot too. Like, I noticed that with Fuse, if I was trading Fuse yesterday, I probably would have had losses just because of how it kept shaking people out. Yeah, CYN, just knowing the level 2 is more thickly stacked. And if that's true that they did just announce more shares for their insiders, then that's downwards pressure. $4 million shares were issued on CYN, so once they rotated enough volume, I believe it will dump. By the way, this news catalyst isn't even like anything crazy, right? This is just kind of, they're advancing, or advances collaboration. Like that doesn't really say anything. Right? It's one thing to say, hey, we entered a partnership or entered a deal. It's another thing to say, hey, we're working towards that a little faster. Like, okay. Like, the general direction is still the same here. You're just doing it a little faster. That doesn't really... To me, that doesn't signify that the stock should go up like 30% or whatever it is. Yeah, 26%. Especially knowing that there's headwinds with insiders. To me, logically, this should roll over. We'll see if logic proves to be true or not, though. Yeah, ACI is still holding up pretty well. I don't want to mess with it. Volume has gotten quite low, too. Yeah, JZXN still just in the ground. How did PDYN do? Did it retrace? No, it did hold up. Sort of. Okay, AZI getting some push. Still not crazy volume on it, though. AZI could be one to look at if you're willing to be a little more risky. It is a Chinese stock. This has had a history of dumping. But at least it's holding up. It's on light volume, though, so I'm not... There's still a bunch of red flags with it. But it's at least maybe worth keeping an eye on. AZI pushed highs. Yeah, the fact that a lot of the stops we're looking at are only up like 30% too. This definitely feels like a slower start to the morning. I want to check, just out of curiosity. What exactly did the pump on this a few days ago look like? So this one also grinded before eventually going over, but it was a grind over about 40 minutes. So we'll see if CYN does something similar, because it looks like it's doing a similar pattern where it's grinded up for a good bit before eventually giving it back. And then the history it ultimately gave was that it gave the entire move back. So I'm curious how much this will repeat here, if it does. Because it seems like it's starting the same, right? We're getting a slow grind up. It's been about 30 minutes or so, 25, 30 minutes since this move. So if it repeats, we would expect within the next 10 minutes or so, it ends up stopping. ENL. Looks like there's a little bit of a pop on this. Sudden surge of volume here. But a lot of this was low volume. $140 million private placement. Okay, at 260, what? $650. Okay, this looks terrible. Well, okay, so the price surged up here. Looking at the daily, this looks very sketchy, but the price surged up here on the daily, and it's saying that they got a private placement. It's kind of weird how they're phrasing it. In the private placement, the company is selling 64 million shares, Class A shares, equivalent to 21 million American depository shares, at a price of $216 per Class A ordinary, equivalent to $650 per ADS. So that is significantly below. So it's weird because it's below the current price significantly, but if you look at the daily, it's well above the daily price. So this is kind of weird. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I don't really know if this is bearish or not. Yeah, I mean, you say 52-week high, like literally just yesterday was the 52-week high, so yeah, very interesting. I don't know what to make of this. I'm torn. Also, what a knife there. Whew. Hmm. 13 down to 1050 in 2 minutes. CYN looks like it's struggling too here now. Could very well be exit liquidity. All right, so is this the backside, or are we going to see a recovery again? Because this did already show one instance of faking out. I would be more, this looks more backside to me, because while this one was a brutal flush, again, like I said, the volume was similar to the push up. Look at the volume now. The volume of this push down was about the same as over here, but the problem is that the push up was not, this volume is much lower than the push down this time. This reads to me more like this is actually the backside. Okay, so in hindsight, you could have tried for a dead cat bounce here at 1050, but this just looked too violent, and I didn't have anything marked out for where I wanted to buy, so I had to pass on it. Yeah, I don't really like, again, I don't like buying at this super high premium way up here at 11. You're buying basically at all-time highs. ELAB, looks like it's moving. Can we please get a fresh ticker on news? Good volume. My goodness, this action sucks. It does suck, Tristan. This, I mean, maybe this is something though. So we do have news, press release, analysis, acquisition of SVM machining. Okay. So they're acquiring something potentially. Yeah, this daily looks horrendous. Wow. What is the float? 1 million? Yeah. Okay. Level 2 looks pretty thin. Yeah, so for the first 3 minutes, you had pretty low volume, and now you're getting a sudden surge. Just to jump back to A&L for a quick moment. Not looking to buy this, but doesn't look pretty. Yeah, looks like it's just a clear pump to get liquidity, and now you're distributing. Doesn't look good. ELAB had a pretty nasty rug a couple days ago. Maybe worth keeping this in mind. I don't like that we had super low volume here, and the high volume only comes in here. I don't like that. But it's a lower float. It at least has news on it. The news is kind of not too crazy, but it does have some news. This is it sad? I feel like this is the best opportunity of the day. Like, and I still don't think it's that good of quality. But I do think it's probably one of the better opportunities we've got, just because we got that lower float, and we do have that volume. Yeah, level 2 looks fairly thin too. See what this does. Yeah, it's definitely got range on it though, right? Like 390 up to 450. Like, this is a 60-cent range in 1 minute. It's certainly got the range to it. Recent reverse split, yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Don't like seeing this 1 minute high get hammered super hard. Made 120 bucks on CYN. Good stuff, Lemon. Good stuff. Were you long or short on it? Because, like, I mean, it's been downtrending this whole time. Okay, so it broke to 390. I mean, yeah, this is having very good range. All right, you're getting 30 plus cents per candle on average. Good morning, Avter. Good morning, good morning. Long when news came out. Fair enough, right? I mean, if you were able to capitalize on that, fair enough. Yeah, it was a higher float. There was insiders that got access to extra shares. It had a history of rolling over like 5 or 10 days ago. So I just didn't trust it. I guess historically, if you looked at it, it seems like CYN is a stock that doesn't immediately roll over. It looks like the history seems to be it pumps for about 30 minutes, then rolls over. So maybe if I recognized that, I could have considered that, but that's still kind of pushing it. That'd be kind of like theory crafting or experimenting. ELAB hit the same high a few days ago. Go ahead and take a look. Yeah. Yeah, and this one had a history too. Like I said, this one had a history of just rolling over immediately. Right? Like, I mean, it just dumped. To be fair, it did recover from that dump. So, interesting for sure. But, yeah. We're seeing a lot of big wicks. Topping tail wicks, right? Pretty big rejections here. And super high volume on this final one, too. Yeah, so 450 down to about 395. 55-cent drop on this range. Very high volume, so I don't trust this for a bounce here. It's too dangerous for me. If we get a further push and the volume dries up, maybe. Hello, Frederick. How are you doing today? Feels like a hidden seller. Could be. Those large upper wicks made me concerned. It could be a dump. Not comfortable to trade it. Yeah, considering this rolled over a few days ago, considering we have these upper wicks, this huge volume on this push down, there's a lot of bearish signals here. Hidden seller, like you pointed out, that's very possible here. Like I said, just fundamentally, I can't buy here. The selling pressure is too high. That goes against rule number 1 for me. Don't buy into heavy selling pressure. So I can't touch it. Now, if this continues to bleed, let's say we get to like 360, 360s, and the volume remains at this dropped level, then I'd be more interested. Right? At that point, you're quite overextended. The volume would have dried up. Looks like exhaustion at that point. Mm-hmm. So you could have bought there for a dead cat bounce, but I don't know. I would have wanted a little more confirmation. CYN surprisingly curling here. Would not have expected this. The volume is not super high, but I mean it is curling. I feel like overall, it just doesn't feel like the quality of these moves is as high. They don't feel as safe to me. All right, let's see how this goes. 60s. Whoever called out the hidden seller, I mean, you've been basically proven right at this point. This looks very much like there was a hidden seller. Took a short at 385. Good luck, sir. It's an excellent entry in hindsight. Waiting to see how this responds at 350. I suspect it's going to break it. Okay. All right, let's see what we get here on this. Pushed down more than I thought it would. All the way to 320. Still having low volume, but I'm not liking how we didn't get a bounce here. The low volume is the only thing that's keeping me in this. $325 is acting as a really big resistance, though. Yeah, I see NPT. Unfortunately, I'm too tied up in this right now to give it much focus. It's that tense moment. Are we finally going to see that bounce, or is this seller just going to keep hammering? Very, very brutal for me. Looking like a red day for sure for me. Would not have expected the selling pressure to keep going this far down. No, it's all good, John. It happens. It's part of the game. You can't always dodge these. I'm still in it because the volume isn't that bad. And we are at all-time lows. So, to me, it doesn't seem like someone would want to push down at this stage. Cut it, cat. I will cut it whenever the signals tell me to cut it. Oof. It's crazy too, because on this push, you're talking about a 30-cent flush on low volume like this. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, whoever called out the hidden seller, absolutely correct. I think it was John. Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, right? Of course, definitely a hidden seller. I really thought they would have been exhausted at this level, being near the lows. Makes you wonder who's actually selling right now. Yeah, I was really thinking this was going to hold. Hmm. Yeah, my average was 33, so we're basically locked into a loss here regardless. The only question is, do we get that bounce to sell for a smaller loss? Because this is too far drawn down for me to actually get back to break even. What was the low? Low was 94. Yeah, looking like a max loss kind of day for me. I mean, if it keeps going and pushes me to max loss, it is what it is. Just need to average down, Cap. You're so right. What could possibly go wrong with averaging down? Yeah, I can recover the loss so easily. If I just triple my position right here. MPT is still holding up pretty well, too. It's time to cut. Can't hold 3. I don't know. This volume around this area has been still too light. Yeah, we're coming up on the top of the hour too here, so we'll see if anything else comes on watch. Unfortunately, I still got to focus on this, but you know how it is. Yo, good morning, sir. Well, good morning for you. Maybe not so much for me. Top of the hour. Just saw this, and are you using bigger size here? No, this is about normal size. It's just that this was such a brutal drawdown here. All right, my average was 33. So like right around here. What the weird thing is, and this is why I'm in it, in case you're wondering. So on this front half, if you look at this volume has been very high for all of this. Once we got to here and all of this volume has dropped off significantly. In these types of situations, I'm supposed to hold. Now, if I start seeing big level 2s on the big offers on the level 2, or big volume starts coming in, then I need to get out. But right now, that doesn't seem... I don't see either of those yet. Let's hope it bounces at 8. Who knows? MPT continuing to curl. Also, good stuff, Andy. Good stuff on that trade. It's very range bound now here. All right, just looking at the volume of this. All right, you're getting like 10,000 volume here. MPT, blue sky above 918. Yeah, MPT, kind of a bad rejection. We'll see, though. It could very well just curl back. It's back above 3, but again, I don't fully trust this either because this volume is quite low on this break of 3. Yeah, I'm not looking for a big recovery either, like 310, 315. Yeah, it's just the case that this was a very big, very, very big drawdown, right? You look at the high, 450, all the way down to 3. No bounce this entire time. And that's the unfortunate thing too, right? With my strategy, because I'm looking for those curls and bounces. If you get a straight move down, well below the prior day close, I just got to eat the loss in this case, you know? The only real time this happens is whenever there's a hidden seller. Because, like, I think we could all agree there was definitely a hidden seller who pushed this down. But it also is strange to me that they would push it this hard because we're at all-time lows. So whoever is selling here, they're not profiting by selling at this level. Unless they're like an insider or distributor or something. Yeah, 20,000. We'll see how much this recovers, if any. Again, I'm not really thinking that this is guaranteed recovery because, again, the volume on this push was light. Should have been bigger. NPT. Wow, yeah. Very, very crazy move. Holy crap. NPT? What the hey? I mean, I know I'm supposed to be watching this. I just want to pull this up real quick. Like, what on earth? Wow. And only on like 600,000. By the way, no news on this move. Holy crap. I know I'm not supposed to like flip off the stock I'm watching, but like, oh my God. Insanity. Ross just made 100. Oh, so that was Ross. Gotcha. Gotcha. Short squeeze. Could be. That's an insane move, though. Warrior traders just became exit liquidity, maybe. See how it goes from where it goes from here. I feel like even for 500,000 or 600,000 volume, that really shouldn't have gone that much. Doesn't that seem kind of like a strange move in terms of just the range? I contributed to that move with 7 shares. There you go. And it pulled back quite a lot, too. 30 down to 15. All right, so we're out there. Did get the bounce, but I mean, what was the max draw down here? Like 50 bucks, 45 bucks? Yeah. That's how it goes. Hmm. So held that for about 20 minutes, a little under. Good bit of prep on it too. Yeah, that's just the unfortunate reality. If I get stuck in the rug, well, not even the rug, right? Because this was it was a much slower sell-off. But the reality is that whenever someone distributes this hard, you can't always predict the exact overreaction. And the problem is you could just say cut it. And sometimes I will if the selling pressure is strong enough. But the problem was in this case, the selling pressure dried up. And the price was at all-time lows. So there was no logical reason for someone to be mass distributing here. And that's kind of the thesis that I had for this trade and why I wasn't letting it go. The unfortunate reality, though, is that even though it might be unbeneficial for someone to keep pushing this down on low volume, they could do it. And if they do that, then I just lose. Ross is goated. Doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, what did this go to? 28. Yeah, it's actually crazy too. I could have basically gotten out for like a $5, $10 loss here if I had held for the full breakout, but realistically, I can only hold for a little bit of a bounce whenever it's sold off this hard. He was down 10K on the day, now he's up 81K. So made almost 100K on that move. Let me finish writing this in here. So there was definitely a hidden seller. I mean, the entry wasn't even terrible. It's just that whoever was pushing it down was going to push it down. The only thing that maybe would have went against it was we likely knew there was a hidden seller. So I'd give that like a C+, just for the hidden, well, C+ or B-. I'll give it B- because it was lows and it was overextended on low volume. Volatility was like a 6. All right, so down 27. GXAI. AWS funds Galax AI sales. Okay. This had a move, a very interesting move, like somewhat recently. Yeah. Taught me to never underestimate blue sky setups. A lot of shorts probably auto-liquidated, contributing to that MPT move. I think realistically, there just wasn't sellers in the way. There was a massive wall of buying that came through, and there's probably just no sellers there. Right? I mean, if Ross bought, he probably was part of that wall that pushed it. I don't know how many shares he bought. But yeah, the NTP move is insane. Yep, there wasn't any sellers on the ask. The ask was super thin. I mean, it would have to be, right? For the price to move up like that did on NTP, or MPT, it would have to be super thin. Right? And now, I don't know, like, is this warrior trading students on the back end? Like, this is fully recovered. You would think even a short squeeze wouldn't just be a single candle. Like, look at this failure. Like, this gave back the entire thing in 10 minutes. Hmm. ELAB is pushing back to all-time lows. Crazy. So it's attempting a bounce here. By the way, this entire move, no news, right? Like, hmm. NTP finally getting a curl after that huge drawdown. Yep, I'm just sitting tight here. Oof. That rug on GXAI. 2 million volume went through there. 210 straight to 180. It's a good bounce on this level, but I mean, it's so bearish looking. What would happen if you bought here? 177. You would have got 10 cents from it. I would have considered buying here, but this just looks nasty. Like, way too bearish. Yeah. Looks like someone's just dumping, potentially. Super high volume here. Let's see. Love how I got all the viewers now that I'm red on the day, right? Couldn't have had all these viewers when I was green yesterday. I do appreciate you guys that are sticking around and watching, though. Probably just going to wait till the half hour. See if we get anything else worth looking at. I'm still watching NPT, but it's got to do something clean for me to be interested, because seeing it do this big of a rejection, like, there's got to be so many people under right now. I missed NPT. Yeah, I was in the other trade, ELAB at the time, so I wasn't able to look at it. I still think it was the right call, because when you're focused on a trade, you don't want to get distracted by other things. I mean, that's kind of just like the cost of committing to a trade, right? Opportunity cost. Candy will need to give you soup today. Did he make soup? Or am I just having him give me soup because I'm down 28 soups? I mean, regardless, I'm stealing soup from him. Like, I don't think I'm recovering $28 today, even if I have a green trade. Which is fine. I've been on a bit of a streak, too. I've had like 6 or 7 green days in a row. So having a red day, I suppose, is a wake-up call, right? He caught NTP, 2 shares. I mean, even 2 shares, if you caught this move, like, you're laughing. The risk to reward is insane here. You could literally double or triple your money with that move. GXAI feels super crowded on the level 2. Yeah, it's very thickly traded. It says 7 million shares, but it's definitely more than that. That's inaccurate. Like, I can't even see all the orders on the level 2. There's so many stacked on the bid and ask. Like, easily tens of thousands on each side. You can tell by the volume too, right? This is in millions, so it's very, very thickly traded. MPT, pretty big collapse here. On 70, 80,000. It's quite low volume. But I'm going to be careful with this one because this is showing it can go down for a while. Realistically, I mean, you got 916 for a bounce point. This broke to 894, just below it, and it's recovered it. So you could have went with the daily. I'd rather go for like 750s, 740s. That'd be a safer entry. If it gets down there. This wick makes it kind of hard to read the chart too, just because, like, it's totally disproportionate. Still, that break of 10, a full dollar flush on that break. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the 750, 740 area. I'd be interested around there, but it's got to get to there. Very interesting to see how much this is still ranging, though, despite the lowered volume. It's clear that algos are kind of stepped out of the way for the moment. They might kick back in at some point, but yeah, they're not. They don't seem like they've been up. 100,000 swinging this a full dollar seems very low. Like, algorithms must have been turned off temporarily. Yeah, we're coming up on the half hour here. See if we get any news that pops up. Got a bottom tick on GXAI earlier. Edge seems to be gone. Another one with no follow through. Yeah, I mean, the volume seems to be dropping and it's starting to trade sideways. I don't know, like, GXAI is one that has had big moves in the past, so it could do something. Yeah, what a great short that must have been. Yeah, I gotta start setting an alarm in the morning or get less comfortable pillow. I'm late to the game again. Well, just wake up an hour earlier. Go to bed an hour earlier if you can't wake up earlier. You know? Yeah, a lot of consolidation here. I'm still waiting to see if we get this break or not. $750, $740 is support on the daily, so that's really what I'm watching for. NPT is done. 15 points on that one big 10-second candle. Crazy. Yeah. Easier said than done. My buddy, who I trade with regularly, still has trouble getting out of bed early to catch pre-market moves. He is in Texas, so the times are tough. Dude, ELAB is still rugging. Like, this is fascinating to me. What is this on? 12,000? Like, who is selling here? You're at all-time lows. There's no reason to sell. I mean, I understand the company's shit. But this feels overblown. Yeah, the initial push down was 12,000. Oh, look, you should have held ELIB because it bounced to your average. Yeah. Re. No, I get it. No, I'm not. No, I don't mean anything bad from it. No, I could have gotten a little more if I held for a bigger bounce, but just from my experience, there's at least some kind of bounce the majority, like the vast majority of the time before it continues lower. It was already pretty strange that it went straight down past all-time lows on light volume here. I'm still surprised that it's doing this, to be honest. Yeah, GXAI, it looks like it could be getting a pop. I will re-engage with this if this goes lower and the volume stays low. I'll give it another chance, but it's got to give me more, because this has already shown to me that it's willing to hurt me a lot. Yeah, we don't actually have any news at the half hour, which kind of sucks. Don't do it. Don't do it. I watched MPT happen in real time. That was amazing. No, yeah, very impressive move. I wish I could have seen it happen. That's like a, I don't want to say like once a year, but that's like a once in 3 or 4 months situation. Very interesting that Ross was a part of it. Very interesting. I wonder how much of it he was. The way the offer lifts and there was just no seller is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, Ross bought for that move. I don't know how much he bought, but Ross and his Warrior Trading students participated in that move. Or at least that's what I'm hearing. So, yeah. Okay, it looks like it's just bouncing here. So it's not really giving me that lower push that I was looking for. Yeah, MPT just kind of basing out here. Surprised it hasn't broken lower. MPT breaking down now, but it's consolidated so long that the next leg could just be bad. By the way, after this huge sell-off, this bounce is like this sold off for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then you had like a $1 bounce, then a second $1 bounce, and then that was it. That was your bounce. I guess you could count this as a bounce too. As soon as it went over the 52-week high, it just squeezed so hard. Yeah. But the weird thing too is, like, again, this volume isn't high relative to this, which is why it's so weird. Right? If this volume was like 3 million, something abysmally higher than the average volume, this is only like double the volume, triple the volume. But the move was probably like 30 times bigger than the moves it was doing here. Right? That disproportionate move is very strange to me. All right, so we're getting continued pushes down here. Yeah, I'm going to be a little more conservative now because I initially wanted 750, 740. Because it's consolidated, I'm going to give it a bit more. Probably looking for like 730. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll space it out, actually. I think the algos actually got out of the way, if I'm being honest. It seems like they pulled the orders, not added to the orders. Yeah, the fact that this is 22 million shares, but it's still moved like this is interesting, right? Yeah, so we went from 960 to 770. All right, potential rejection here. Let's see what this looks like. Up 1 full cent today. Hey, I mean, you're doing better than me. All right, we're getting close to my entry. We'll see. Do I use Rasa scanners? I've been trying them out, and I think they're a big help. I use Thinkorswim. I'm looking for pretty similar stocks to Ross, right? Looking for the momentum, looking for the lower float. So me and Ross typically will be trading or looking at the same stocks at least. But I just use Thinkorswim because it's free, right? Like, it's better than paying 100 and, what is it, like 197 a month or something crazy for his scanners. The thing is, too, is Ross's scanners, you can't really customize them, so you're locked into what he's showing. Not to say you can't use them. Just an observation, really. Tough day, boys. Wooey. Green on 1 trade, but messy. Man, oh man. These shorts are horrible people. I don't know if it's shorting or just distribution. Not sure. I'm on Weeble and the scanner function on there isn't very good at all. Yeah, no, that's why I'm using Thinkorswim. Yes, I'm like using a hybrid of Thinkorswim and Weeble collectively. Okay, so this ended up holding around 762, which was like basically the tip of this support. I was expecting it to dip lower. GXAI looks like it's rugged a little bit there. Any trade for you to get in. Whatever you think is the right trade. I will not tell you what to buy or sell. Lots of dumps from the company's side. Shorts only get run over and accelerate the squeezes if something keeps going, which didn't happen a lot recently. So would the platform be called Thinkable? Maybe. Yeah. So they don't primarily contribute to everything failing, which is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I think it's a mix of both. Right? Like, the companies will dilute, which would normally drive the price down. But then the short sellers basically amplify that. Basically, any move that goes up that's unjustified, shorts will aggressively push down. Did I make any trades yesterday? Sorry, I just got here. I do daily recaps. I made like 24 or 25 bucks yesterday. I'm down 28 today. So on the month, I am down like $3 or something. You're correct. It has a mixture of both. Yeah. So this was a nice bounce here, but it did take a while to resolve. Okay, so no bounce play for me on NPT. I was pretty far from an entry too. I was like 30. Okay, no, I was like 20 cents from an entry at the low. So not quite there. Yeah, we are coming up on the top of the hour too. Looking like a guaranteed red day at this point. Only question is how big of a red day. I believe in myself. I can make it a bigger red day. I just got to find the right stock. Does your Webull Premium Level 2 show the open price when the stock has halted? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't really think that's a feature of the level 2. I think that's more of a feature if a stock is listed on NASDAQ. Because NASDAQ stocks, when they halt, they will show you the open price. And I think you can see that with even just level 1 data. So I don't think that has to do with the level 2. I could be mistaken. But I think you would be able to view a halted stock as long as it's on the NASDAQ exchange and as long as you have level 1 data, I think. Got caught in the initial GXAI rug, so down today, sadly. Hey, you and me both, Molt. You and me both. I managed to get 66 cents a share on Fuse yesterday. Good stuff. Haba haba. CYCU, that pop happened so fast, I didn't get a chance to short that. Yeah. Yes, you can see the halted and the open price. Yeah. Hey, Candyman fella is A-okay. I don't know about you, but I just kind of want to get out of here. I'm tired of looking at my $28 red day. Feel disgusted. And it sucks too because there hasn't really been, I mean, realistically, I feel like today has been a bit of a rough day. I didn't think a lot of the stocks that moved today were that good. So there wasn't really much opportunity. And then, of course, the one trade I did take was on a stock that rugged super hard. Like, this is a brutal rug pull. Like, and I mean, even back here, right? This is just straight down. You're down 100 yesterday, 250 on the week. I'm sorry to hear that, Cove. Yeah, sorry to hear that. And saying that even with the big move NPT made, it won't even change the 52-week high. Yeah. I think you have to pay national best bid offer on Webull to see the halt levels. Are you hesitant to get into CN stocks? What is CN? That like a ticker, or is that like a brand of stocks? No, it's not a ticker. Yeah, I don't know what CN are. NUC. Looks like NUC is moving. Let's see. United States, 25 million. So float's a little high. No news on it. Are you hesitant? Oh, China. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Chinese stocks tend to rug harder. China. Okay, the VTIX is going to run real hard one day with the right catalyst. When that daily chart curls, look out. Took a start short at 290. Good luck. Some pretty good volume coming in here. Very interesting how NPT, you had this pop, and then it just sold off constantly. Okay. So like 580s, 590s. It's pretty far from there. Keep an eye on it. $100,000. Still 780 straight down to 680. This thing is just giving back the whole freaking move. Yeah, shorting is quite scary. You would definitely need to approach it with a perspective of cut at a certain point. See how much this goes. Correction, shorting is quite scary nowadays. 5 to 8 years ago, no problem. Easy money. Yeah. Once Ross is done with something, I typically stay away from it. This thing is done. Yeah. I just watched Ross make 100K on NPT pop. Of course, he's working with a 500K account. Yeah. So very high volume now on this pushing. I'm looking for just under 6. Might just bounce here though. We'll see. Volume's high, so it could keep going down. No, certainly impressive result from Ross. Yeah, Ross bought into this. He was part of the group that bought into this move here. He gave a little off the top. I don't know. That's not my understanding, MS5. My understanding was that he was down around 10 or 15K before he took this trade. So he didn't give a little off the top. He was down earlier. I could be mistaken, but that's my understanding. Roscoe, everyone here, yeah. I mean, this has bounced here, but like, this wasn't really where I wanted to buy it at. 628, 680. I mean, this is like a 60-cent bounce. You don't really see it because like this entire move is just so big. So even a small bounce like this doesn't look big, but it's a 60-cent bounce. Yeah, he was down 10K on NPT before the pop. Okay. But still, he didn't give off the top. So my initial statement sounds like it was correct. So potential hidden seller, right? You had this pop to draw liquidity. It looks like they grinded it down, started mass selling here. We're not seeing any pop here. Like no 1 minute high. Could just be short selling or distribution. It's insane this entire move was given back. I genuinely, like, here's my thought. Given that the volume, oh, hold on, this is coming into play, potentially. It broke through 50. Low volume. Okay. Give it a try there. This breakdown wasn't super high volume. Only half size on this, though. See how 25 holds, if it does. No, could just be a seller. 25 was struggling. Bit of a seller at 30. Yeah, I'm going to cut it. I'm not liking it. I'm feeling very risk adverse right now, too, after that first loss. Oh, and it goes straight to 50. Okay, all right. 50 was my target. Honestly, maybe that's a sign to walk. We're coming up on 9. Normally I would stay an extra 5 minutes, but if I'm being a little honest, considering that I got really screwed on ELAB, I went half size on this trade, cut it, and then it immediately spiked to my target profit. Feeling a little bit triggered. I think that's a good sign. I could stay the extra few minutes, but I'm just going to call it here and walk. Don't want to even risk anything else because I'm feeling a little triggered. So I'll go ahead and log this before I head out here. I do respect that I was being more cautious because I did just take a bigger loss, and I didn't want to make a very big loss to end the session, but still, it's frustrating when that happens. It feels like you're just when you get to a point where you start doing things and it feels like you're just doing it all wrong, and you start questioning yourself. That's when you really gotta walk. Give it a C plus, honestly. Yeah. Volatility was quite high. So I got in at 615, which was in hindsight great, right? Like I could have, I mean, that's pretty close to the bottom. So my timing was pretty good. Not crashed hard. Whoa, oh, that's disgusting. Wow. Whew. Hard flush. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here and just get out. This is war zone right now. It feels like just the way things have been going. One last shout out to NPT for screwing me over, shaking me out right here, right before the pop. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. You guys have a good rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully a little more grounded.